Who we talking about today, Kachoom?
This guy. There he is.
Oh, spec alert. Look at the 3 you have in your hand.
4.
4.
4.
Right there.
With Kenobi coming, I mean,
Well, that specifically, yeah.
this is the book to have. Spec alert.
All right, well, let's just jump right into this. Let me see if I have the button. Who has the button? Who has the button? Who has the button?
No, I don't mean. I honestly, I don't mind what they do with it, as long as they do something. Because we've been waiting a long time, and I don't disappoint.
Sorry about that. That was the wrong button. Here we go. Krrsantan, also known as Black Krrsantan, was a male Wookiee bounty hunter from the planet of Kashyyyk. He was trained by the infamous Zonti brothers as a gladiator and fought in the pits. Later, Krrsantan became a furious bounty hunter. He was regularly hired by the crime lord Jabba the Hutt. During the Galactic Civil War, Darth Vader hired Krrsantan, tracked down and captured an agent of the Emperor. Sometime after his contract with Vader had expired, Krrsantan was summoned along with fellow bounty hunters to a cantina on Sun Tula. In this cantina, they were approached by a rogue archaeologist named Afra. He told them about plans for a heist. He told them she had inside information which allowed him to locate the transport, circumvent the guards, and get away. She was offering them part in exchange for their services. Krrsantan would work alongside Afra for some time to come. Later, following the death of Jabba and the end of the war, Krrsantan was hired by Jabba's cousins, brother and sister crime lord, known as the Twins. Their cousin's empire had been taken over by the bounty hunter Boba Fett, and the Hutt sought Krrsantan's services in stopping Fett. Krrsantan attempted to assassinate Fett, but was captured and failed. Shortly after, the Twins promised to leave Tatooine. He was eventually employed by Boba Fett. As a part of Boba Fett's forces, he participated in the battle against the Pike Syndicate, which resulted in Fett's victory. Tonight, we discuss one of the most powerful and ferocious bounty hunters ever, Black Krrsantan. Join us. All right. Oh,
Join us.
all right. We got Bake the Snake, the one, the only, the man, the myth, and he's also a legend. So that is who we are talking about, discussing. I was hoping that worked because I know I say that a lot, but literally my computer, I don't know if I need to like defragment it or whatever, but every time I'd play it, it was like this. Black us. I'm like, what did it say? Like I never got it to like actually play all the way through. I'm like, what is going on? It was like
You should be used to that talking to me.
Yeah, I was like, we were struggling today. I'm like, why is the computer struggling? Like, I heard the fans kick on. I'm like, it must have been like running a scan in the background because I'm not used to. I did it today because we actually had to shut down. We had to shut down the store today because this. You'll like this. This stuff from the sky started falling. Not rain. I don't know what it was. It was harder than rain, and it was landing on the cement. And since we don't own salt or sand or whatever you people do, we don't own those kind of vehicles in Texas. We just shut it all down. We just shut it down. Everybody went home at 3. Schools emptied out. Business is shut down. Amazon didn't even deliver. I had like a package come today. They went ahead and told me that didn't happen. And they shut the whole city down. We shut it down. Man,
I wish that happens up here. You still go to school when you're up to your knees.
What's happening? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, they shut it down. So, and they gave us about 45 minutes to get up to the school to get my kids out of school. That's how much time they gave us. I was like, we work. Like, I mean, look, we own the place, so we can't just shut it down because everybody canceled on us, of course. Like every single person was scheduled to cancel. And I was like, oh, okay.
I think it's called hard-boiled rain.
It was funny because our kids were literally Googling it, they were trying to find the difference between sleet, freezing rain, snow. There's like all these different terminologies, and they're like, it was like, how many names do you have for snow and ice? Because my kids were like baffled by that today.
The Canadians have hundreds.
Oh yeah,
All right. So where do we begin with this fella?
Well, the most famous issue we talk about every time with Darth Vader #1.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's only listed really just recently as the first of this guy,
Mm-hmm.
but
Me.
they don't list in the app. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of canon first appearances. So to
Yeah.
Poor Mike. What's happening, man?
Yeah, issue 1 is filled to the brim, as we know. And yeah, that's his first show. First shows up as a comic character. Another one to make their way to screen. And did you guys like the translation from comic to screen?
What? Oh, was that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved it. No, because I was thinking last week when we broke down, our best moments. I did say Cad Bane coming into the whatever episode that was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Black K was just as cool.
Yeah, when he showed up in episode 2.
Since I haven't actually read those. Well, I guess I read the Darth Vader, so I have read some. I just haven't read the Dr. Alpha ones.
Mm-hmm.
And he was big, like as big as he should have been, which is great to see.
Yeah, he wasn't. They didn't get the old. Oh, get the old Chewbacca suit out. We was spray painted black.
No. Here we go. You ready? When you go back and look at that, like, when I saw it, I was, oh crap, I know that guy. And so when you had that, that moment of holy crap, it takes away a little bit. So when I would go back editing that, I was like, you know what, they actually did a really good job. They made that seem like there comes badass. Like,
well, especially Boba's reaction. He just head turning the camera, zooming in. He goes, it's like his mind going, oh fuck, this isn't
yeah.
I mean, it was like
he's slightly looking up too.
Yeah,
and it's like
he's looking up.
There's a Boba there, and it's almost like those twins are like, I see your Boba and I raise you the Bigfoot here, and he comes walking around the corner, and he plays it off too, right? Like, I mean, we'll talk about it more, but doing all the writing for the opening and everything, especially with Dr. Alfred books, like for no reason, he'll just like pick a fight, or like I haven't actually read it, but whenever she invites him to the scene for the first time, he just decides he's gonna go fight in the pits just because he's waiting and he's bored. So he kills the poor fella, takes a spot, jumps down there, wins the gladiator event, then sits up and drinks a beer until she shows up. I was like, this guy's nuts.
Friend or foe, like he has no problem picking someone up that he likes.
I will say this
to get his
if you saw our final Boba Fett one, that was something that it was interesting that he could just take about 95 bolts to the body parts. And
well, he learned something from that shanking.
He did. Yeah. In case you're wondering.
He's like, man, I gotta step my game up. I gotta be invincible.
Let me tell you something. If I had the money to buy Star Wars and I could make it more of like a rated R thing, which I know Star Wars never has been, that would actually be interesting, seeing basically a rated R evil version of Han and Chewie, of having Boba and him, get in some wild fisticuffs, instead of them running, he goes and rips somebody's, every time you would hear Chewie rip your arms off, he actually does rip the arms off. So it would be interesting to. All right. So we see him first. Where do we see him first?
And Darth Vader,
because there's some strange fella that the Emperor is talking to, and the Emperor Vader said, like, who's this guy? Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about that.
And in the same panel when he appears is Boba.
Yeah, Boba Fett as well.
So they're mates. They go way back.
Yeah, they're mates. Which is also interesting because he's mates with the lizard. With Bosk too, it seems like they've had their fun moments.
They work together. They have their what's that term called? The work. He says your differences at work, basically.
Well, I just think it's interesting because he can't have a beer. I mean, maybe there were some alcoholic beverages involved there, but he can't have a beer in the presence of the lizard people without wanting to rip all their arms off. But he could like work closely with one of the worst ones, one of the ones that brags about killing more Wookiees than anyone. He's like, that's
the whole
credit,
skimming
baby.
station in the ship.
Yeah, listen, credits are credits. It's kind of like when somebody says, you know, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. That's kind of what he does. Listen, I don't like lizard people, but hell, $20 is $20. All right, but then I guess he comes into his own. Would you say with Dr. Alpha?
More or less. So he shows up in the Darth Vader series, and especially during he really stands out in the Vader Down crossover. That's where he shows up and has his iconic fight with Chewbacca.
This is when you decide to show up. Sorry, this is when you decide to show up. And I say $20 is $20. This fellow makes an appearance.
But yeah, he has his appearance there. Great. And then after that, yeah, when Afra essentially dies or fakes her death, essentially the whole point of it was he rescues her, and yeah, they work with each other for a while, on and off. Like he would go off and do his own thing and come back, and every so often. So he really takes his strides in Dr. Afra series, as you can tell by the background behind Kajun, half them being Dr. Afra.
Yeah, that's kind of an Easter egg if people don't realize it, because we don't really point it out that much that whatever we're talking about, Kachun's gonna get the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth appearance behind him somewhere.
Yeah, finger on the trigger.
Well, this is the origin, right?
The origins issue, yeah.
That's the annual.
We'll talk about that. There is 3 issues where I uploaded an almost ridiculous amount of panels because they were the most important things.
Did you put the most important panel?
I hope you know. Basically, I've uploaded almost the entire issue.
Well, listening to or reading Chris, well, he had an opinion about how many issues you loaded into the thing. Let's put it that way.
Well, that one important one. I mean, we got to talk about. That.
Especially, given what's coming up.
All right, so let's just go ahead and knock this other little appearance out. I just did this. We try to stay positive whenever we talk about these characters, especially if we kind of like them. So I skipped the part where he doesn't do as well with the naked Boba when he gets listen, Boba was slippery, baby. He was naked. He was sudsy. He was slippery. He couldn't get a hold of him.
His bath bomb had just finished.
So anyway, I'm just going to show a little bit of him fighting and stuff, and then we can jump into the comic books. All right, so that's him kind of fighting, just showing his skills. I will say a lot. You got to know who you're fighting, and apparently with him, blaster bolts do nothing, but vibro blades or a sharpened stick. Now that hurts you because he always like, Jesus when you stab him, but he just takes the. Which
is why the Trandoshans were smart. They all attacked him with knives.
I know people talking trash about
blind
that.
him with the light. That was it.
Yeah, they're talking trash, but they didn't realize they know how to take him down. They knew 100% what you got to do.
See, a lightsaber, you can't skin them with a lightsaber because it go right through.
Yeah,
you get that.
You cauterize it immediately. You're not getting the
sharpened bone.
Oh my gosh, Casper! Good Lord!
What?
Well, there's a few slides.
Oh, I was like, what did I say? What did I do? Well, hit the slideshow. Be the easiest thing. I don't know the order he put it in, so I didn't get a chance to open it.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so let's just jump right into it.
It's always a surprise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to share my screen. That's how many episodes we had now, and I had a bunch with
It's crazy. 37.
I know.
I had a bunch with the original Hunters too, and I still don't know how to push buttons good.
How many spotlights have we done?
You put them in the exact order of the photos. Oh my lordy, buddy! There's a reason why I write some as 1, 2, 3 as the beginning of the thing.
Wow, he says, "Listen, pay attention to my instructions." Okay, what did I say to do? I said, "Do it 1, 2, 3." Just a little podcast. What's happening?
Hey, Cookie.
He actually. Oh my good lord. Okay.
Okay,
Get it.
so I quickly, I will go over this really quickly. His appearances, of importance. So Darth Vader #1, his first appearance, and he shows back up in 4 and 7 and 8. After that is when the Vader Down crossover happens, and his first cover appearance is actually a variant for issue 13. He doesn't actually appear into issue 14 in that run.
I can't hit my spec book, but you just realized spec alert. Right?
Yeah, so he first appears on the cover there on the variant.
Yeah,
and
that was hot a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, everyone talked about that, especially when the character showed up. You can see all the comics.
Yeah, this should have been a spec alert like 6 weeks ago. I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So issue 14 of the Star Wars main series is where you get the beginning, the true start of the fight between Krrsantan and Chewbacca. Very good fight, as we'll see. And then it continues on to the rest of the arc. After that, the other issue of big importance that we'll talk about is issue 20 of Star Wars, where it's one of the flashback journal of Ben Kenobi.
Sorry. I got the vapors. I apologize for that.
And that one is the battle between Krrsantan and Obi-Wan, and that one's exciting. And as you'll see, after that, he shows up in the end. He shows near the end of Darth Vader again, and then leading into Dr. Aphra. After that, he shows up in the Screaming Citadel arc, which is another crossover.
Great.
And as Chew showed earlier, Dr. Aphra Annual #1 was the origin of Krrsantan, and we'll get the whole thing of him. After that, he shows up in random mini arcs throughout the series, and then he shows back up the first 5 issues of the recent Aphra run, and the first issue of Bounty Hunters. And that's the last we see of him until it's going to be Crimson Reign issue 3. Will be the next time we see him.
Oh, good that he's coming back. Like,
yeah,
that latest Aphra series, he's not in that very much. He's
only in the first arc, and then he's gone since.
Yeah, he doesn't even do much. It's kind of sad, really.
It is. And then in TV appearances, as we already know, Chapter 2 is his first live action appearance. He was in Chapter 2 to 4, and then he was in 6 and 7. So, yeah.
Chrysanthemums.
So many. This was fun. So that the actor right there, his name's Kerry Jones, the one who played Krrsantan, and Peter Mayhew's wife Angie put like a little warm welcome to him playing the character and like welcome him to the Wookiee family when he first showed up on screen.
I wonder what that party's like. Welcoming to the Wookiee
lots of hair in the food, probably.
He was like a stunt guy, right? This guy?
I didn't check if he was a stunt performer.
I thought
it has to be because he's in the costume, right? And
yeah,
it only makes sense.
Cad Bane was the stunt guy,
but
the voice was the voice in the cartoon.
With the original voice, yeah. So the order's a little weird, but anyways, down on the left is going to be his most recent appearance coming up, and it's a variant cover for issue 3. So there's your spec alert for coming up eventually. Full-fledged cover, and then on the right is that infamous action figure, which
Black Chewbacca.
Well, here's what I think is really funny. This is the solicitation, or this is the image Hasbro put out, and on the inside you see the art of him in one of the comics and how big he is.
Yeah, look how he's a thick boy. He's a thick boy right there, and he's a thin boy right there.
It's again the Weight Watch.
I think that's is that from the journal?
That's from the issue 20. Yeah.
He did a good job. He did a great job.
Yeah. He did a great. But yeah, so great before and after photos for Instagram.
I should show this. My wife found this at a flea market. It's a bunch of Pez.
That's interesting.
It's got it's the new Solo.
Yeah.
But it does have Chewbacca. I thought about maybe painting him. And then I'd have a black K Pez dispenser.
He didn't have to put them in the right order, Chris, because he literally numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4.
But yeah. And then on the left there is the action figure variant where he shows up in. It's for issue 1 of Dr. Aphra.
All right, so a little bit of, I mean, I'm not.
That is really actually. That didn't even come to my brain. That is really funny.
What?
I didn't even think of it. They took a Chewbacca image and painted him black and did a little eye.
Oh, well, of course.
Pretty much.
Here's the thing, though. I would say is that they're really making this obvious. Like they're making this even more obvious than the TV show. This talk about, and that's not an accident because they could have just slowly got rid of that if that wasn't going to be a thing. You know what I mean? But they're like making sure you see that he has his giant.
Oh, and you'll know why that scar is there, and it's a great lead-in. Oh, if you go back, there was the another important one actually. On the right there, Marvel announced, this was like not long ago, they announced that they're going to do a Star Wars Tales issue, which I think it's the first one they're doing, where it's going to be a collection of important stories for the character. So they're doing one on Krrsantan, and they have the photo they used is the what's it called? The photo variant. They haven't shown what the other covers are yet, but there's going to be new art for the covers. But it does collect issues 14 and 15. We're gonna review those. The Chewbacca fight, issue 20, the fight of Obi-Wan, and then the annual, which is the origin. So you'll get everything, all the important stuff to this character in one issue.
Do you know why they did this? Because they watch our show. I know they do because they copyright strike me constantly.
They know it's important.
So they watch the show. Obviously, clearly, at least a bot does. And they're like, hey, that's a good idea. We should just make money off that.
They're probably going to bring him into the show.
Okay, let's do some family business real quick. I apologize. This is unprofessional. No, the ones that are up right now are before the numbered ones. So I put them before the numbered ones. Here's the problem. If you watch our show on a regular basis, fourth member, you know that we always show things like these books and the toys and stuff. We always show those at the end after we've done the comic books and the stories. So that's not a good excuse. It's not a good excuse.
Now we can't show Cody. Isn't he the bringer of the news?
What?
Commander Cody.
Why not?
Huh?
Why can't we show Cody?
Yes, we've already told the news.
Oh
yeah. No, well, Chris has run it all, so there's no cute clips today. We're just gonna power through it. We're gonna power through it.
There's Boba.
So yeah, issue 1, Darth Vader, the iconic issue.
First off, hold on a second. Boba ain't that tiny. Look how big they made him. Like he's on a ledge. He doesn't even start going up until the knees. You see what I'm saying? Like he is on a ledge higher than his knees, and he still comes to the bottom of his chin. Look at this. He could get in him like a mech. He could use him as a mech.
Pilot him. But yeah, first time you see him, great introduction, along with the other most famous.
Freaking Chris.
No, he's big. I don't know if Boba's that small though.
Definitely not. But yeah, so this is one of the issues where Afra hires him and a bunch of others to do a job, as you talked about in the intro. There's him on the left doing some gladiator fighting, which is fun, with Bosk looking down on him.
I didn't think this part real quick was kind of weird because he's like growl, growl, snarl, snarl, and they made him like the teenage wolf boy or something.
Yeah, Teen Wolf.
He was Teen Wolf here. It's a little bit weird, but.
So that is the variant cover there. That's the.
I've seen these guys before.
Yes, that's the first. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Half of those characters. So that's the variant cover where he first appears on a cover appearance.
Is that 13?
13. And on the right there is the start to the Chewbacca fight, where Krrsantan was going to grab and beat Luke, and Chewbacca jumps in to save him. And as we'll see, this is a pretty intense fight.
That's from 14, though. There we go.
13. That was the very end of 13. And then 14 starts off with the actual fight, which a gorgeous cover by Mark Brooks.
Okay, here's where Mark Brooks screwed up, though.
He's not
because he is 4 times bigger than Boba, but when they want to have this hero, this other walking carpet, suddenly he is shrunk. He's back on Nutrisystem. Yep. So he has a problem with his weight. I don't know if he holds water. I don't know if he has a bloating issue, but he has a problem with his weight. It fluctuates a lot.
His steroid spice supplier has been off lately.
He's cycling off right here. He's cycling off. It's okay.
All of a sudden, he's Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. But yeah, so good backbreaker on the right, and then headbutting.
Oh my God, he's murdering him.
It's basically an issue full of growling.
Oh, growling and just punching. So on the left there, it's a little harder to see now. Anyways, he goes up to to take out Han, beats him up, and then holds a big rock over Chewbacca, ready to kill him. Until R2 shoots a little adrenaline dose into Chewbacca.
Hey, don't be jumping in. This is a one-on-one fight, bro. Why you bring your boys in here and jump in?
Yep.
Yes.
He just
Not
shoots
right,
him up with steroids.
Yeah, he gives him the same dosage he had, and he knocks him down, and Chewbacca starts beating on Krrsantan. Until Krrsantan gives him the uppercut with the electric knuckle dusters.
Okay, so we just talk about the fact that Chewbacca's supposed to be the ultimate good guy, right? He's supposed to be the ultimate baby face. His boy goes heel, stabs him in the neck, right? Probably with some kind of put him to sleep dart. He doesn't help nicely put him down. He right hooks him, then flips him, and then does all kinds of stuff. This is not a nice Chewbacca thing. Taking advantage of the situation here.
There can only be one Wookiee.
There can only be one Wookiee.
So then, as Krrsantan's picking up Solo and trying to walk away after he basically beat down Chewbacca and won the fight. And then as he's walking away, C-3PO is in his way. He's about to clock C-3PO right out until R2 runs up and electrocutes them both.
This is great right here, by the way. This is
great
amazing.
image. I do like the image though on the bottom left where it's Krrsantan winding the punch up and C-3PO is just oh Lord. But yeah. After that, here comes the
nice.
the best issue.
Top issue.
Love it.
So yeah,
the only thing I would say that was weird for me is that everyone seems to be drawn, and then when they draw the humans in this, it's almost like they did it like a photo. It was.
So that was
really
the thing.
That's Mayhew.
Mayhew did that, and he did it more like photo, as if they're the real, because they're they had the actual actors for that, so they could just base it on that. But yeah, so this story basically it's Krrsantan's trying to lure Obi-Wan out because of some stuff with the with Jabba's people and the crime lords and all that. He was basically stopping some crimes going on. So Krrsantan was hired to stop him, and so he basically kidnaps Owen and uses him as a bait to bring Obi-Wan in.
Mm-hmm.
And as we see, Obi-Wan shows up. Hello there, and tries mind tricking him to stop.
Just hold on. Just have some respect. Look at the stance. That's I don't give a shit. I'm the baddest man in this desert stance. Look at that. He's just got his arm, on his knee, and he's like, "Hey, you're kind of a, big monkey looking fella, but I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I got a sword."
Mm-hmm. And then great. Sorry.
Go ahead.
What was that? It was Kachun you were saying? Were you saying something, Kachun?
It was just he was just saying it's his territory.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
90. What's happening, dude?
90.
But yeah. Obi-Wan goes, you're the infamous Wookiee bounty hunter, Black Krrsantan.
There's that image that they used on the packaging.
Yeah, that's the image. And you can see how massive he is, too.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy.
But yeah, Obi-Wan tries to, he's like, well, see, I am a bounty hunter. I'm the man you're looking for, or am I? You will leave this place and he's trying to do the classic mind trick.
Yeah.
Before Krrsantan just smacks him upside the face and bites Obi-Wan like a monster, catching him completely off guard. Like he was not expecting that.
Hold on, I feel like we're starting to edge into disrespectful area here now. He's trying not to use his Jedi powers. I just want to point that out. While you seem like he's taking a beating, he is not. He doesn't want to use Jedi powers until he must. He must, and then once he must, Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'd say he caught him off by surprise. He didn't expect a giant Wookiee to hit him really quickly and start eating him.
Yeah. Here's the problem that I have is this one right here. I don't think we can zoom in.
Yeah, I don't know. He should have made it a little bigger there.
What do you go, Chris? So this looks like those. Do you ever see those computer games from the 90s where they use like real humans to do like really corny things? Like the guy runs up the stairs.
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of. This is the one that's the worst to me. Is the very corny looking shoulder
Owen
tackle.
body checking him.
Yeah, when he like tries to push him in the back, like it looks really weird. It's just a really weird drawing.
Yeah, but yeah, he nets him up, and Owen gets sent flying off the mountain for it, and Obi-Wan quickly pulls his lightsaber out to cut the net and helps Owen. But ultimately, he gets attacked by Krrsantan again, and so that top left there, what happens is Obi-Wan does the classic front flip and cuts him right across the eye, giving him the scar.
Let's see, I get the high ground. See,
does he cut the rock too? Right.
That Wookiee didn't get the what was that called? The news in Star Wars. I forgot what the hollow.
The hollow net, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't pay attention because he let Kenobi get to the high ground. And let me, he admits a front flip. That's just right there. That's right off the bat.
The front flip is the ultimate move.
Front flip after the spin move.
Spin move is number one. We know that.
Yeah.
So here, did he not jump, or because Kenobi didn't knock him off the cliff?
So what happens is Owen falls off, but Luke saves him with the little speeder, and so Kenobi, now knowing that he has no problem fighting him, not having to defend anyone, he turns, starts blocking shots from Krrsantan and sends him flying back at him. So he basically blinded him in the eye for temporarily and scorched his whole side with the blaster. So Krrsantan says, "Screw this," and jumped off the cliff so he can get away from that fight.
I would say that I want to bitch and say a lightsaber can cut a door open, but it just gives a Wookiee a slight scar. But it's a cool story. He
did
badass
go through
Wookiee.
the rock and then hit him.
Yeah, so we're just gonna ignore the fact that it really should have done a little more damage than just sizzle his hair, because it's a cool cool thing. So we're gonna suspend our disbelief on that one.
Yeah, and then this is the great near the end of the issue. He says, "I searched for the Kashyyyk or Krrsantan among the rocks, but found no body. They breed them tough on Kashyyyk, etc., etc. It would be a long time before Krrsantan would be was welcome on Tatooine again."
Oh yeah,
and then the scar there on his face. So great issue.
Hurting. I'm sure it's hurting.
Mm-hmm. And then so there he is at the end of. So he shows up at the end of Darth Vader's run and saves Aphra with the help of 000 and BT, and they go off to start their own series. From the Screaming Citadel, there wasn't a lot of him there. He just showed up every so often. But I did want to include this panel in the first issue, which was the guards tell him like we don't like his the Queen has allergies to certain species. So Aphra tells him to mess off her a bit. Luke says to Aphra, "How did you meet that guy?" She goes, "Long story. I owe him a lot." Luke says, "It's good to know you stick by your friends. You're not that bad. I mean," and then she goes, "I owe him a lot of money."
That's why he's hanging around. He's waiting for it.
Waiting for that check to come through.
You're a swindler.
Yeah, you're muted, Greg.
I don't know what he's doing.
Not sure if he's trying to talk to us or elsewise, but yeah, no, great. That's that Screaming Citadel. He just kind of shows up more or less throughout random parts of it, and specifically like he gets a mad rush, but nothing too significant there. And we see some of that when we talked about 000 and BT, so you can see that in the same episode. But yeah. How are you, Kachun?
Yeah, I'm disappointed that he didn't get much comic time recently.
Yeah,
it kind of stopped there with Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just shows up in these Aphra and such, and then the new series for like 5 issues. But I'm curious to see what they do with them later on in Crimson.
All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
I guess it came unplugged. I got a little too excited. Apparently, I have no idea. I was saying though that this thing about the queen having allergies, people are allergic to cats and dogs and stuff. So I mean, that would be an awkward moment if you were allergic to the dander of a Wookiee. You're like, listen, I really can't have you on the ship. I'm allergic to Wookiees.
Yeah.
So here is the other most important issue. Dr. Aphra Annual 1 is the origin issue. The cover on the left is the A cover, as Kashyyyk showed us, and on the right is the Phil Noto B cover, which I like it a lot. I think Aphra looks a little weird there. Like, she looks like a man, honestly. But Krrsantan looks pretty good in the back with his gladiator outfit.
Yeah, he's got a.
It's
great
weird because it
style.
seems like they should almost switch these two. Like she should be this one and this one should be this one or something. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Just because he's like, I guess not. Maybe he's kind of cartoonish more than there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good lord!
But yeah, so you like really brushed through this. So this one essentially. So when he gets captured by the Trandoshans, he's sold to the Zonti brothers, and they enslave him to put him into the gladiator fighting ring. And the top two in there basically go over him being through different fights constantly, through different people in different places, like the progression of time. And then ultimately, in the third one, he, due to a lot of fighting and damage, I forgot about this. He gets implants. They say he's worth it, so they implant him with like exoskeleton hands and other parts in his body to make him tougher. They replace parts that get like beat up. So you see on the far right, he claws this one guy across the face, and you see his hands and knuckles are basically robotic now.
Yeah, the weird thing I feel about this is one panel that I was reading when I was trying to figure out what pictures I wanted to do and stuff. Where they said that like they were basically hiding the fact that he was for as long as they could, but he clearly has robot hands. So how do you not notice that? Like,
I was trying to remember. I completely forgot to look at how he's in live action to see if you can kind of see that there at all. Have they had that?
I didn't think it looks like he just has electric.
You should just see the knuckle dusters over top his like regular furry.
Yeah, I think so. That's what it seems like.
They don't really show those much either.
Yeah. Because that's a weird thing. Like I think that was not a good choice because it's just kind of weird.
That's kind of
if you want to say they replaced his bones inside with metal, that's cool. But I don't need to see the hands. Like the hands, that's too much because then you would notice that he has metal hands. That's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. But you know what? The Goof Troop from episode 3 would like that. They would think that's beautiful that he.
They wouldn't have shanked him. They knew he had mods.
So they have while we're on this one, have they ever said why he left Kashyyyk?
Why he left Kashyyyk? No, they didn't say why at all.
Okay, because I was watching a video, and his video, which gosh, I wish I wrote it down. He was speculating that I guess in Kashyyyk, when you have a dispute with another Wookiee, you go in front of the council, whatever, and it's basically out in front of everybody, and you discuss it. And most of the time, it turns into a fight. Okay, like it really does. And you're supposed to not hurt another Wookiee. And the worst thing you could possibly do is use your claws, and they actually call it like bad claw or some kind of claw.
Oh, you know what?
And then you're banned from Kashyyyk forever, and people look at you like you're banned. And I guess like they kind of hint about it on some of these things that he's known as not being welcome back there. So they were kind of saying that that's probably what happened, was that in a dispute he probably hurt another.
Well, you know why he probably said that? Like I just realized it was in Knights of the Old Republic 1. When you go to Kashyyyk, you have a Wookiee companion who was exiled because of, and they have the same things with a dispute going on. You're overseeing the dispute, and your guy was exiled because he got like too aggressive. That must have been like you must have taken the same idea there, and it would make sense if Black Krrsantan would be the only. He would definitely be the Wookiee to be exiled.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think, I think on this one, isn't this the one where he actually uses a Wookiee as bait? Like he actually, like hurts a Wookiee and uses them as bait for the people who are hunting. Yeah, for the slavers to find.
And then after he gets his up, so they basically have him there in a gladiator ring. his whole gear set up. He absolutely mauls this Trandoshan as soon as he sees him.
Well, this also where you see that he knows that your outside appearance and how you know basically your rep is important, because up here it says not another Wookiee. That was so 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So he throws down the swords and beats him death. Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. He beats him to death with his bare hands, and the crowd loves it. So like,
Yeah,
that's kind of where he realizes just
Pretty-
killing somebody really fast with the sword doesn't get the crowd cheering.
you gotta really give him the old Roman way. And then, so in that fight, he picks up a dude. The guy actually speaks Shiriuk, which is interesting. And then, so the guy translates for him, saying that he says, Krrsantan says, "Hail, Black Krrsantan, undefeated and unbowed." And then, so the Zonti brothers end up trying to sell him. So sell him off, basically. And they sell him off, and he kind of, from there, we don't know really what happens after that, but he kind of gets traveled around, I would assume. And then the far right there is the end of the origin issues. He's retelling the story at a bar, and he's, you know what, I'm feeling nostalgic, so he jumps back into the ring to have another fight, while Afra and 000 watch. This was a fun one. I completely forgot this happened in a story. So issue 13 of Dr. Afra ends the story arc with a auction, and so everyone goes their separate ways for the time being. Like, so he goes off, Afra goes off. As we talked about 000, that's one of the issues. But in the same issue, Krrsantan tracks down these Zonti brothers when they're slaves. They became enslaved, and he gives them a taste of their own medicine. And beats them, basically. Getting his revenge.
Perfect.
And then I love this cover, the Ashley Witter cover on the left. So this is when he shows back up in Dr. Afra after the little hiatus.
Which issue is that? I don't think I
34.
have that one. 34?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Near the end.
Uh-oh. He didn't have that one.
I don't know if I have that one.
But that's bad. Well, make sure to get it before the show is over so you don't get a price cut. But so this one here, so he reunites with her, basically telling her she still owes him some money, so he, happy reunion almost. And he helps her on her way through the rest of the series.
There he is, picking her up, but I told you.
Yes.
Her up by the throat.
Look, she seems like she's not like he's smiling here, and she was like, "Oh Jesus."
I was rid of this guy. And then so after that, the Dr. Afra series resets into the new run after Empire Strikes Back. And as the first you see Krrsantan in his pretty cool outfit, I say. I like that outfit.
Yeah.
And he shows up in the first 5 issues of the story arc, and he disappears. And we haven't seen him in Dr. Afra since.
They've been really restocking this little robot, haven't they?
They love that robot.
Yeah.
Except he does make an appearance in one other issue, which I think is a great appearance, because I think we talked about it during Bosk's Spotlight. There's another big issue, is Bounty Hunters #1, where so Afra and Krrsantan go to talk to Bosk about being hired for a job. And Bosk and Krrsantan get really violent immediately. And Bosk saying, what does he say exactly? It is, I always get my Wookiee. Always.
That series is pretty good, I must admit.
Bounty Hunters is a surprisingly really good series, especially the art. I think the art's usually the best part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be all the comic stuff. So obviously he appears through a lot of Dr. Afra as, the side character, but those are the big issues. And again, that Star Wars Tales issue that's going to come out in May is going to have all the important stuff in it. So pretty cool.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Where's the salary, Craig?
No, we go to Twitch. When I am paid, which is not much, she's only from Twitch. Twitch seems to care more. Okay, so
and then there was so obviously there's so many variants with Krrsantan on it. That one's a fun one for the relaunch of Afra.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, so that is him. You got anything else to say about him?
I hope they use him more, and I think if we see Dr. Afra in live action, we'll see him again for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious if he'll show up in Obi-Wan, but I don't think so, just because of the timeline. Might be. No, it could be still be work out.
Probably. I mean, they've introduced him in Boba now, and people probably like him. So
the only problem that I have with them, not that I don't have with him. That's a weird thing to say. The problem that I have with it is that they've already turned him from in one TV show from being a scary murderous bounty hunter to another member of the Brady Bunch, and so like he's gonna be, basically he's just like now he's back to being like a Chewbacca with a little more edge. Whenever I would have liked to have seen him, so they might have to go back in time, or maybe they have the guts. Disney's hard to breathe sometimes.
Hey, we'll give him in Bad Batch season 2, and we'll have.
But yeah, I need him to be more, scary, jumping down the pits and murdering people just because it's fun.
Yeah,
than
more like that giant version of himself who's scary and intimidating, opposed to a
than eating an apple at the end of a show. Looking on.
maybe they'll just reenact that thing that gave him the scar with Kenobi. So.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they kind of have to, though, don't they? I would think so. I think that's why they keep showing it.
Yeah.
All right, that is. I think that's it for him. And now we'll go to new comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do I have this? Oh, here we go. All right, so let's see what we have in the world of comic books.
Not much.
No.
But there is an important one there, though. A very important one.
Let's see here.
It's been pretty lean the last few weeks.
Yeah, they really have been lean on that stuff. The only ones of note from this month was Crimson Reign and Vader, which already came out. But this one here is the second and the.
I kind of like that.
So they did 2 second printings to Crimson Reign, with 2 it's a second printing and a variant of the second printing, which is very weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you didn't pick up the first issue, like the first edition or whatever, easy one to get into.
I kind of like the second printing of this one. It's kind of cool. I like how I know it just makes her look a little bit different with the background black and the little bit of red. That looks kind of cool.
Pops it out, yeah.
And then the G.I. Joe guys. I forgot about those G.I. Joe guys.
I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to them dying in the series. After they said they're going to go to Vader's castle. But so this is an important issue because it's the last issue IDW is publishing of Star Wars.
Yeah.
High Republic Adventures number 13. And that came out today. So the regular A cover on the left, and then on the right it was the retailer incentive variant. But this is the last issue they're doing.
Okay, hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's for everything, not just High Republic, but every single Star Wars.
Block out Star Wars. Like, cut this off. Look at this very fast. Okay, is that Star Wars? If you're walking by,
the little creature on the the Ithorian on the left would do it, but no, it wouldn't.
Yeah, even this at first glance, I wouldn't necessarily pick that up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that looks so different. I wouldn't even necessarily pick that up.
Right.
Looks like it'd be a fun cartoon.
Like Visions episode.
Oh my gosh, that is it?
Yeah, basically. And a trade paperback came out for High Republic as well.
Okay.
Of the Adventure series.
Well, I know that he wanted me to do this, so let's do this. Let's just get right into the news. Yes. He wanted me to, so I had to. Like, that's just. We're
going to talk about Cody soon, especially if Kenobi's coming out. We definitely need to talk about Cody.
I have him.
Yes,
I have him.
Got the pop.
Cody.
Always prepared.
Yep.
So, fun
this
news.
Is good news
here.
right here.
This one's exciting. So
on the MrGarrell Discord, MrGarrell, all things Star Wars. Go to MrGarrell's Discord. I put this on here and I was like, this is what's right with the world right here. This needed to happen again.
So they confirmed that John Williams will be composing and conducting a new main theme for Kenobi series. Now, not the whole series. He's not composing the whole series, but he's doing the main theme, which will probably be playing constantly, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like how the Mandalorian theme plays constantly when in his episodes. Now, I love the music to the Book of Boba Fett Mandalorian. No matter how low quality is at times, the music is phenomenal. But seeing John Williams come back for the theme song is very good. It's a very good choice.
Not bad for 90.
Yes.
Although, anytime they ever interview him about Star Wars, he's like, oh yeah, that was my best work. It was like, yeah, I guess it was a paycheck. Like, he's never like that thrilled about it. He's never like, it's really weird because he's a serious composer. So it's like, yeah, I made like really good music. Oh yeah, and I also made the soundtrack to that goofy soap opera in the sky. Like he's never like super like hyped for it or anything. Yeah.
So this is a book coming out, and it's basically going over the timeline of the galaxy from before High Republic, it says. So that's interesting. To the fall of the First Order. What's interesting is this is the first book to actually talk about timeline stuff, because they've done the visual dictionary.
Let it go. Jesus Christ, let it go.
But I'm curious because it says before the High Republic, so I don't know what they mean by Old Republic at that point or whatnot. Because if KOTOR is coming out as a remake, I'm really curious how much of that they're actually going to just leave as Legends or not. But yeah,
could be the Jurassic Republic.
Nice. And then yeah, so as I said earlier, IDW. Basically, yeah, they finished with the publishing of Star Wars. Now that Dark Horse is going to be coming back. On the left was their first issue of like Adventures, and then on the right was the last issue they did. They published.
I heard the artist drew himself into that last issue too.
Did he?
Yeah.
I hope so. I definitely did.
Maybe right here. There's like
it's the Yoda. It's Yoda. But yeah, pretty sure
Dark Horse is coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back. I think it's May. I have to double check solicits. I don't think they showed off the series that they're going to be doing next. But I think they are doing a High Republic series to kick it off, which I want to see some other stuff too, please.
Sure. What would you like? What would you like them to do?
I would like to see some Empire stuff, like how we had the Crimson Empire and like some of the grunts, like seeing people from that part. Or at the very least, I'd like to see some stuff between episode 1 and 2. That's always fun. Because we never really get stuff about that.
No.
But yeah.
It's hard though, because every time I turn around, like Disney's doing stuff like, let's do the timelines and let's like keep trying to force a way to try to make it all make sense, and it's just the worst part about it is like I was reading this article, and I feel like more and more now people are admitting that those 3 movies weren't great, and they used to be like, no, they are great, you just hate people, and now they're trying to admit they weren't very good. And I saw this video. I'll have to show it to you. It's on the Discord that I have.
Yeah,
somebody breaks it down. Did you watch that video or something?
I didn't watch it, but I was recommended it a while back, and then you had posted it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's really good. It breaks down why it just doesn't make sense. Like it was just total weird movie making. And I was like, to me, if somebody's in charge of Disney watches that, they're like, we're continuously gonna keep making mistakes with these things if we keep trying to force it. Like I know it's easy for me to say I don't have $1 billion invested in it, but you're gonna keep trying to like make decisions that don't make sense because you know that in some way you got to explain what happened 50 years from now, and it's just kind of weird. Like it's just a weird. It's weird that they don't have to. They can retcon stuff and not even give an explanation for it, but when it comes to that particular franchise, they have to make sure it's explained. It's like, there's still a lot of questions of why R2D2 has been in every single show every single episode all throughout the world, yet no one seems to remember who he is, depending on what the story needs to be told. We have never explained that. But all right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
He's a really cool character. He's really awesome. I'm glad they did it. When they come out with a something very similar to this, that's not just black paint dip. Give me $20. He will probably be one of the ones I add because he's pretty cool. I hope they do him right. I hope comics is probably where we're gonna need to keep an eye out for him, because I don't think Disney's gonna have the guts to like make him go back to ripping people's arms off. Probably, I would imagine they're gonna.
It'd be good to have a crossover with Black K and Predator.
Predator. They'll always find a way to.
Both in Marvel, so they can do it.
What a fight! That'd be a great fight, though.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for coming out watching. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe and Instagrams and the Twitches and everything. It's all MrGarrell. Next week we'll be doing another deep dive. I don't think we discussed who it is yet.
Not exactly sure, but as we do, we figure out.
Eventually, we're gonna have to get off that toilet bowl that we're doing and keep going around and around. Dr. Alfra, I know she's still being kind of fleshed out, so it'd probably be better to wait for a little bit longer, but she seems to be right on the cusp of all the people we're talking about, and we're just like, we'll just keep avoiding that little topic.
I think we're waiting just for that announcement of something, and then otherwise,
and then the one that I'm not looking forward to eventually, especially with the TV show coming out, we're gonna have to tackle Kenobi.
We'll have to break him up into different eras, and especially we'll have to talk about his legend stuff and canon. Like, there's some legend stuff that are completely different, which are fun to talk about.
So we're gonna have to find a way to tackle that one. And although that's my favorite, obviously, the amount of work that's gonna go into that little monster is gonna be pretty rough. I think maybe Luke is worse. Luke might be the more daunting of the two.
Yes, Boba Fett would also be the most daunting, but I think that one's gonna have to.
Yeah, we need a break.
Yeah, we need a break of Boba. Season 2 of.
Yeah, we'll have to. The only reason I said Luke is weird is because Luke is a completely different human being, depending on
Legends
what story.
and canon are different characters. We have to.
Yeah, he is like I don't know very much about Dragon Ball Z, but like when they see that guy getting all Goku or whatever his name is, gets all hulked up, he is like the ultimate version of that during Legends, and then canon, especially the last 3 movies, he's like a feeble old man. Like, it's a really weird.
There would be one more intense character, and that's Vader.
Yeah.
That would probably be.
That would be.
Well, yeah, but you know what? We could break Vader up, though. We could break him up between. We could do Anakin, and then we could do Vader, and it wouldn't be as
right.
I wouldn't even want to touch Anakin if we're doing Vader. I wouldn't. That's a me.
You just say before Vader there was Anakin. Now continuing on to Vader, like that's all. His name was Anakin before he was Vader. All right, here we go, guys.
We could change. That was it.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye bye.